This video is brought to you by hoodbeast.com. Design your own custom hoodies. hoodbeast.com.
What's going on, guys? It's Jerome, and photos of Paul George's second signature model with Nike, the PG2, leaked online today. So I wanted to give you guys my first reactions to the PG2, and I also want to hear your guys' thoughts on them in the comment section below. So after this video, be sure to leave a comment to let us know what you think about the PG2. But before I show you what they look like, I have to warn you guys, these aren't the best photos. I mean, it's not really good quality. You can't really get a great look at the PG2, but I wanted to make this video just to give you my first reactions so that when the PG2 is officially unveiled, we can all laugh at this video and see how wrong I and you were about the PG2, because they may end up looking completely different. But without further ado, let me show you what the PG2 looks like, at least what we think the PG2 is. Ta-da! I know, they're not that great, right? I mean, just based on my first impressions, these look like a complete step back from its predecessors, the PG1s. Now, that is kind of a loaded statement because the PG1 is one of the best looking sneakers on the market today. It's one of the best debut models of all time in terms of aesthetic look. The colorways were great, the overall design was great, there was pretty good tech in it, and they were a pretty solid on-court performer. So it is a lot to live up to the PG1 since it was such a great sneaker. It was both critically acclaimed by people who wore them for basketball and people who just wanted a good looking sneaker. With all that being said though, I mean, what may be the PG2, this sneaker right here in this photo, it just looks uninspiring. When I first saw it, I refused to believe that it was a Paul George sneaker, but upon further inspection, there are a couple of little things that kind of give it away that it actually might be the PG2. You got his logo on the tongue, and it looks like his signature there around the back heel. So it does look like that this actually might be the PG2s, which is kind of disappointing because like I said earlier, it just looks uninspiring. It looks like a random Nike basketball sneaker. It looks like a budget basketball sneaker to me. It just looks like something that I shouldn't get excited about. I mean, it just looks like a fused basketball sneaker with cheap tech. It looks like a $95 sneaker. That's just my opinion. If you like how these look, that's on you. I totally respect your opinion, but as far as I'm concerned, my personal opinion, I'm not a huge fan of how these are looking aesthetically so far. What disappoints me the most about them has got to be the materials. It just looks like straight plastic, a generic fused upper, and that's pretty disappointing because the PG1s had awesome materials, depending on what colorway you would get. Like this shining colorway has a premium nubuck overlay on the back heel panel, and this is just awesome. It feels great on feet. It's a little tip to the hat of the way sneakers used to be. And I also like the soft mesh forefoot. So the materials on the PG1 were absolutely incredible in my opinion, especially for the price. But what's used here on the PG2 just looks absolutely uninspiring. That's the word that I would use to describe the PG2 so far. Uninspiring. Now, like I talked about earlier, there is a slight chance that the PG2 looks completely different when it is officially unveiled. And these may just be an early wear test sample. But if these are how the PG2s are gonna look on retail shelves, I am a little disappointed aesthetically. They may end up performing great on the court, don't get me wrong, but I do have a couple of concerns about how they will perform. That upper just does not look like it's gonna conform around my foot the way I want it to. And the midsole looks a little clunky, especially the heel. And speaking of the heel, the upper in this area actually reminds me of the Curry 3 low. And that's why I think what may be the PG2s is very uninspiring because it just looks like a generic basketball sneaker that I've seen before. The PG1s were such a fresh breath of air. It is kind of disappointing to see the PG2 return to some generic designs, but that's just my opinion. I would love to hear what you think about these in the comment section below. What do you like? What don't you like? If you don't like it at all, what would you have changed? Let me know all of that good stuff in the comment section below. We could have a good, healthy discussion about what may or may not be the PG2s. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot. Subscribe to this channel for more content just like this. My name's Jaron. It's been great having you. Catch you in the next one. Peace. Paul George, LeBron James, John Wall, and DeMarcus Cousins. I know what you're thinking. That seems pretty crazy, but I'm going to explain why some people think that's a real possibility. So let's get started with the first domino that Bill Simmons thinks is gonna fall, and that's Paul George. I mean, he just thinks Paul George is going to the Lakers